Hey guys, what's up? My name's Kayla from Planning with Kay, and welcome to another video. So after 2 months, I'm happy to say that I'm finally back with a monthly Plan With Me video, where I'm going to show you guys the full setup of all of my March spreads and my bullet journal using my newest monthly sticker kit. Before that though, I'm first going to flip through the previous pages in this journal so that you can see how last month has looked. I just recently moved into this journal from my old light blue Leuchtturm, so I don't actually have all of my February spreads in here, but if you want to see any of the pages prior to this, I do have the entire flip through of my old journal posted on my channel that you can go ahead and check out. So this journal starts off with my New Year's spreads that I have a whole video about as well, and it's then followed by a sort of random seeming collection of dailies, weeklies, and collections. I didn't have any monthly spreads for January or February, so my dailies and weeklies are really what got me through the last couple months. And even then, I definitely felt a lot more disorganized without those monthly pages. Because it's been so long since I set up monthlies, I decided to do this preparation spread before setting up my March spreads, just as a way to brainstorm what I wanted out of those spreads. I thought about possible pages that I might want to include. I also brainstormed all of the different habits that I wanted to track, different color options that would match my theme, as well as just some other random notes about what I wanted to include this month. If you ever lack a clear vision of how you want to set up your monthly pages, I definitely recommend doing some sort of brainstorm or prep spread like this, just to compose your thoughts and really flesh out the backbone for your month. So now it's on to my theme. I knew that I wanted to do some sort of botanical theme for March, and I actually got a suggestion in the comments of a previous video to do a succulent theme, and I thought that just sounded absolutely perfect for March, so that's what I ended up going with. If you guys do ever have a theme suggestion, definitely always leave them in the comments. I read every single comment you guys write under my videos, and I really want to start doing more themes that are suggested by you. So as usual, I start off by sketching out the succulents with the aid of some reference photos that I found on Pinterest. I actually ended up designing most of this kit while live streaming on my Instagram, and I'm definitely going to keep doing that every single month. It was so awesome getting live feedback from you guys and having you help me decide on colors and placement. So follow me on Instagram if you ever want to be involved in the creation of future monthly kits. I ended up going with a mixed color scheme of mostly pinks and greens with some blue and purple thrown in, and I'm absolutely in love with how everything came together. I really missed designing these kits for you guys the last 2 months, so I wanted to come back with something really great, and in the end, I'm really proud of how this turned out. So here's the final product. This 3-sheet succulent theme monthly kit comes with everything that you need to set up your monthly spreads. And if you want to purchase it, you can check out the link in the description down below. I also have this single sheet with just the succulent drawings available for anyone who maybe doesn't want the whole kit or wants some extra decoration to go along with the kit. And to celebrate this release, you can use the code SUCCULENT15 for 15% off of my entire shop throughout the weekend. So we got our theme, now it's time to get into the setup of my March spreads. As usual, I start off my month with a calendar style monthly log. I really wanted my calendar to be a bit smaller than usual, just so that I have more room for some other components on this spread, so I ended up making each box in the calendar 6 spaces across and 4 spaces down. I made the calendar using a blue and pink Crayola Supertip that closely matched the header sticker that I ended up using, and I wrote the dates in the lower left corner using the hard-tip Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen. For my main March header, I decided to go with a bold black Tombow dual brush pen, and I then went on to add some succulent decoration. I wanted it to look like the succulents were actually coming out from behind the calendar, so I used a pair of scissors to cut off parts of the stickers so that I could get the illusion that the calendar was covering them. This ended up being super easy and extremely effective, and I ended up liking it so much that I used the same technique later on in this setup. On the bottom left is where I'm putting my to-do list for the month, using my N65 gray Tombow and the same pink super tip from before. This is where I'm going to write any tasks for the month that I'm already aware of. I don't need this space to be super big because most of my tasks during the month actually come up during my weeklies or my daily logs as I go. This is just for anything that I already know ahead of time that I want to complete in March. I'm also including something new for my monthly overview spread, which is the schedule of all of my bills that I have to pay throughout the month. I personally use a Google spreadsheet to track my budgeting and finances, but I still wanted a spot in my journal just for my bills, so that way I don't have to pull out that spreadsheet to see what bills I have to pay each week. I then just added in a few more finishing details to finish off this spread. Next up is my one line a day page, which is very simple for me, and it's just where I jot down an overview of what happens each day. I start off with the header using this wine red number 837 Tombow marker, which matches the pink succulent header that I chose, followed by a quick stripe of green to lay down one of my number strips, which you can also find in my sticker shop. I finish it off with the same N65 gray Tombow from before to create some separation between the lines. This is a much easier way to create line separation if you want it, compared to using a fine black pen or something of the sort to draw a line between each day, and I think it gives it a nice bold look. Next to that, I'm laying out a circle of succulent stickers to start off my mood tracker. I'm doing my mood tracker totally different this time around by introducing the circular style to my bullet journal. This is something that's been pretty popular for a while now, but I've never thought to try it out myself until now, and I absolutely love how it ended up turning out. I then used the same wine red marker from before to outline the 2 rings of my tracker, and then used a black pen to divide the ring into 32 spaces, blacking out one of the spaces so that I'm left with 31 for the 31 days of the month. Finally, I make my mood key at the top, sprinkling in some of my usual sass, and that's all there was to it. Next, I'm going to set up my habit tracker, and I'm actually returning to the more traditional bullet journal habit tracker style this month, which is probably the first time in like a year or so that I'm using this format. For the last year, I've been using a habit tracker that only has anywhere from 3 to 6 habits each month, but since I now work from home full time, I decided to include all of my daily work tasks on my tracker as well. So I made my header using a purple Crayola Supertip, and I then used my Fudenosuke brush pen for the numbers, the habits, as well as a drop shadow on the title. I'm not totally sure yet how I'm going to fill in the boxes for the completed habits, but I'll definitely be flipping through these completed spreads in my next April Plan With Me video, so you'll be able to see then how I fill this in. On the other side, I'm laying down the purple succulent header for my social media trackers, which is another new page for me. This page is going to help me keep track of Instagram posts and YouTube uploads to make sure that I'm hitting all of my goals, which is 5 Instagram posts a week and 1 YouTube video every week, as well as log my social media stats at the beginning and end of the month, as a way to track my growth. I'm using my light purple Tombow, which I believe is the color 673 throughout this page, along with a muted green Crayola and that same purple Crayola from before, plus one instance of the N65 gray Tombow. And like I've been doing for all of these spreads, I'm making all of my boxes with rounded corners, which is an easy way to just elevate the look of a spread. While you personally may not have a need to track your social media presence, this same type of spread can be used to work towards any goals that you may have. My ultimate goal is to build my social media following, so I'm doing that by posting a certain number of times each week. But let's say you had a goal to lose 20 pounds. You may want to achieve that by working out 5 times a week. So you could use this same spread with a tracker designated for those 5 workouts a week, and then your monthly weight progress at the bottom with your starting and ending weight. And that same format can be used for whatever your goals are. The general idea is that you have a main goal you're progressing towards, and then you have your smaller daily or weekly goals that get you closer to that main goal. Okay, so I'm now on the last monthly spread, and I'm starting it off with a decoration page on the left, using that same technique that I used earlier of cutting the stickers so that they create an edge that they appear to be peeking out from. This is going to form a frame that will hold a little succulent pun that reads, "Life would suck without you," which I'm writing with a gray and pink Crayola Supertip. Finally, my last page on this spread is just going to be for notes, and I'm splitting it in half so that it has business notes at the top and other notes at the bottom. When I was writing other, I accidentally started to make the H a T, so I had to somehow save it and turn it back into an H, which just made it look like it says otter notes, which I'm honestly not really mad about. I've learned at this point to just laugh at my mistakes, not take anything too seriously. The truth is that as long as you know what something is meant to be used for, it doesn't really matter if it gets messed up in the process. So now that the monthly spreads are done, I'm going to finish this video off with a weekly spread to jumpstart the month of March. So I'm dividing the page into 7 rows, each 5 spaces tall, and I'm using these weekly headers from my monthly kit to label each day of the week. I then split the row into business and personal, and this is where I write all of my day-specific events or tasks for the week. Then on the other side, I'm writing February 25th through March 4th in the middle, which I end up realizing a little bit later is a mistake. It should be the 26th. But again, as long as I know what I meant, I really don't need to bother covering it up. I then use some succulent stickers and my gray Tombow to label the top as business and the bottom as personal, and these will be my to-do lists for the week. And now that that's done, of course, the last thing that I have to do is go back to my calendar and fill in all of my March events from my future log, as well as fill in my bill schedule. And those are all of my spreads that I set up for March. I'm so excited to start using these spreads, especially since I've been without monthly pages for 2 months now. I can tell that these are really going to help me stay on track this month, and I think that the addition of the few new pages will be really useful for me throughout the month of March. I love how the succulent theme turned out with my setup, and if you want to set up a succulent theme month in your journal, don't forget to check out my succulent monthly kit via the link in the description. It's only $5, and you can also use the code succulent15 through this weekend to get 15% off your entire order from my shop. Well guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, definitely leave a like, and also don't forget to leave your theme suggestions for next month in the comments below. Follow me on Instagram @planningwithk if you're not already, and remember to stay tuned for more sticker design live streams there. The link to my sticker shop and other social medias are down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!